Hey, 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 what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your main man, Coach Eric Schwafel, your host, coming at you with episode number 2 of the Unlocking Excellence podcast. Okay, so Unlocking Excellence. We've only had one episode so far, and what does excellence even mean, and why excellence, right? Everybody says, let's try to be perfect, let's try to be great, let's try to be good enough, but why excellence? Well, it really calls to me. See, here's the thing is I've spent a lot of my life working on this thing about perfectionism, right? Trying to be as perfect as you possibly can, doing everything right. And it hasn't worked out. And what I mean by it hasn't worked out is I can't be perfect. I know that I can't be perfect. I screw up. I make mistakes. Things happen here and there that just don't work out. So I'm decided to come from another mindset. And a few years ago, I had this introduced to me, and it's the concept of excellence. Always do your best. Always show up in excellence. Don't worry about trying to be perfect. But if you can always do your best in any situation, then you're going to end up on top. You're going to end up in a positive situation and positive circumstances. So what is personal excellence? Where does this actually come from? And let's define it a little bit, because excellence is different for everybody when you think about it, just like a goal or success is different for everybody. So I have a few different definitions, and personal excellence is an interesting concept, but what does it actually mean? It means striving to become the best possible expression of who we are on a core level. Okay, that comes from a blog called Advanced Life Skills. And I have another one here that says human excellence could be defined as those human qualities that make a person outstanding, exceptional, superior, or in one word, the best of one's kind in any field of human activities. Frequently, it is synonymously used with the word virtue, narrowly meaning moral excellence. So you see, it's not necessarily about being perfect and having everything right and doing everything that you've got to do in order to have the best possible outcome. It's literally the quality of becoming or being outstanding or extremely good. You see, I believe excellence is a place that we come from, right? An inner stance, just like if you're being fearful or if you are being sad or if you are experiencing anger, right? I believe excellence is that place that you come from in those same circumstances. And the thing about where you come from, right, is that you can always control that, and you can always shift that. And I'll explain a little bit more what I mean in later episodes, right? Well, excellence means greatest. It means the very best. Achieving excellence is never easy to do, and excellence is a quality that people really appreciate because it's so hard to find. Excellence is the quality of excelling or being truly the best at something. You know, it's funny, I was doing a little bit of research before this episode just to kind of check out what exactly excellence is and people's definitions, and to really broaden my definition of it so I can understand it more and see where it applies. And excellence was a term that was greatly used in the early 1800s. And over time, it's actually dwindled a lot. And I don't have any reason for this, right? I didn't do the research to find that, but I just find it pretty interesting. And over the last, maybe it was 10 years, it looked like it was starting to grow in the frequency that it was used. So it's interesting to see these statistics and how they actually work, right? Because excellence describes, it's not something that you use to describe everything. It's not something like, oh, it was good, it was great. No, this is something that's excellent. It's something that you use in order to describe an experience that's like none other, right? So what are some keys to excellence? We got to define this thing a little bit more, especially if you don't have a definition. We can start making it a little bit more known, right? So we can start acting from this place. So some keys to excellence would be integrity. Oh, I'm going to have a podcast on integrity and how important it is. It, for me, is another word for discipline, doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, how it's supposed to get done. Because when you say that you're going to do something and you don't do it, oh man, think about that. If you tell somebody that you were going to do something and you don't do it, how does that make you look? I would say untrustworthy, not reliable. That person might not make the agreement to do something with you in the future because they know, hey, this person isn't as trustworthy as I once thought. They're not coming from a place of excellence. They're coming from another place. Integrity means being transparent. Integrity means being honest. There's just so many things. Oh, I'm excited for that next podcast. So the keys to excellence, the first one, of course, is integrity. The second one, failure leads to success. It's learning from your mistakes. It's having a growth mindset. You see, excellence isn't just one thing. It's composed of many. One of those things is a growth mindset, not the victim or the scarcity mindset. It's seeing, okay, there is a silver lining to every situation. There is good, there is great, there is excellence, there are opportunities, not just one, there are opportunities in every direction. Only thing that you have to do is see it and be willing to see it. Come from the place of excellence. Speak with good purpose, speak honestly, and speak kindly. It doesn't cost a cent to be nice. It doesn't cost a cent. It doesn't cost another second to be kind, to be compassionate, to speak with good purpose. Nowadays, y'all, and this might be a generalization, but nowadays it is not rare. It is very common to find those who have more of a negative mindset, to find those who are, I would say, more stuck, right, in unserving, unhealthy patterns, whether it's thinking, behaviors, skills. We're not working with personal intentionality. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Personal intentionality. We're not working with that. Why? Because we lost it. We haven't learned it anymore. It's something that we have unlearned. This is it. Right now is a key to excellence. Excellence is doing what you can in the now and knowing that the past are just formulated from memories and the future. It's just projected in our mind, baby. The only thing that we have is right here and now. So this is it. If you're going to change your life, you're going to change your life right now. It can't be in the future. You can think it's going to be in the future, but it's just another moment in the now. So what can you do right now to start acting, not asking, you can ask too, but acting from a place of excellence? What are you going to do right now for that? Oh, another one. One key to excellence is commitment. Oh, commitment. Yes. Commitment's one of the biggest things. I learned this the other day, y'all. Are you interested in the things that you're doing, or are you committed to the things that you're doing? We're interested in a lot of different things, right? We're interested in so many different things, but how committed are we to those things? There is a big difference between being interested and being committed. Interested, we only go so far. But when we're committed, we will do whatever it takes. We become the person that we need to be in order to do the thing that we want to do. It's a straight line, baby, from point A to point B. There are no circles. There are no zigzags. Commitment means we take a straight line to our destination. You take another key is to create responsibility. It's to take ownership. Take responsibility for your actions. I am coming to the understanding, starting to believe more and more, that you are 100% completely responsible for everything in your life. At some level, somewhere subconsciously, before you were born, this is the little bit of woo-woo stuff, you agreed to everything that you're experiencing. That's tough. That's a tough thing, right? I really resisted it at first. If you don't want to believe it, that's okay, right? I'm not here to force my beliefs upon you. I'm here to open your mind and give you things to think about. But take responsibility and ownership over your life. This is where personal integrity, come in, and personal intentionality come in. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was said that if you remain in true personal integrity, your production can increase 100 to 500% without any outside external force, support, or anything like that. Just doing what you say you're going to do can increase your production 100 to 500%, because then you're going to stop saying things that you know you can't do and you know that you can't commit to. You're going to stop saying no to what you're interested in, and you're going to start saying yes to what you're committed to. Flexibility. Be willing to do things differently. Be willing to innovate. Be willing to get creative, to get resourceful. Be willing to do things differently than what other people have done them. In today's world, there's not a lot of originality left, but there's plenty of creativeness. There's plenty, what am I saying? Of course, there's still a lot of originality. Look at all the apps that are happening right now, right? There's creativity. You've got to become resourceful. If you want something, you've got to adopt the mindset in order to get it. It's a crazy example, but think of a drug addict. Think of somebody who's addicted to maybe crack, right? A crackhead. They will find their drug. They will do anything they need to get their drug every single day to get that high. They will do anything they need to go and get it. Some people in society, right? We look down on them and we're like, look at these people. They're addicted and this and that. Well, they know what it takes and they do what it takes in order to get what they want, right? Now, I'm not saying go and become a crack addict, and I'm not saying go and try hard drugs or anything like that. But if you really want something to happen, what is it that you're doing that's stopping you? What mindset, what place are you coming from that's preventing you from getting what it is that you want? So be flexible, because if you're limited by one perspective, you're going to miss the infinite opportunities and possibilities that are presented to you, that are in front of you. And another key is balance. Live your best life. Look, being excellent, for me, it's not all about work anymore. It's not all about making a crazy amount of money. It's about my relationships. It's about feeling good in my own skin. It's about managing my stress, eating well. Excellence is a very broad term when we look at the different areas of our health. You got the physical, mental, emotional, social, environmental, spiritual. All those things play a role. All those things play a role. So 10 commitments for excellence. See the good, risk failure, work hard, expand, be consistent, be passionate, maintain your self-respect. Look at what your own natural talent is. We are all born geniuses. But if you tell a fish to climb a tree, of course it's not going to feel like it was meant to do that. Of course it's going to feel dumb, right? I believe Albert Einstein said something along those lines. So what is the takeaway from today's episode? What is excellence for you? What is excellence for you? Think about that. Excellence, you can also use success in here, but what state of being is excellent for you? Who do you have to be in order to unlock your definition of excellence? One way that you can really define this is by writing it down, right? You can write it down. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Another thing that you can do is make a list of what you're interested in. Everything. Learning another language, starting a business, writing a book, getting a better relationship, getting a girlfriend, getting a boyfriend, buying a home, buying a house, all these different things. What are you interested in doing? Write the list, 10, 15 minutes, then sort through it. Which of those things are you committed to? Commitment makes the difference. It's not step number 2, right? Step number 1, write the list that you're interested in. Step number 2, write the list that or define what you're committed to. Then the third and the fourth step, define what you're committed to later. Define what you're committed to now, because the things are different. They're different. And then once you've defined what you're committed to later and what you're committed to now, start doing the things that you're committed to now. Make a plan, right? Reverse engineer this shit. That's what it's all about. Y'all have a strong desire for excellence. This isn't going to happen by not having that strong mindset, by not believing in yourself. You've got to make firm blueprints. Every long-term goal that you make has to be supported by a plan. There has to be a factor of accountability. There has to be a factor of persistence and consistency, or else you will give up. You've got to keep moving forward. You can't base these things that you want to do, you can't base them out of feeling all the time. Sometimes you've got to buck up, you've got to move forward and give yourself some old-fashioned tough love, some old-fashioned pushing. Now, I'm not saying that if you're in pain or anything like that, you've got to discern what the pushing time and the resting time is, right? Because it's not quitting, it's resting. But define that. Learn from the best. If only I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And work really fucking hard. Work really, really, really fucking hard. And never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. That's the difference. That's the game, man. How long can you stay in this shit for? Look around. 78, something like 78% of the North American population, I know specifically United States, is obese. Overweight. And like 30% is obese. We don't move anymore. We don't care about our bodies anymore. Now, I'm not saying those people aren't happy, okay? And I'm not fat shaming or anything like that. But for the health risks that are there, excellence for them is not in their body, right? So y'all, remember, it's all about figuring out what excellence is to you, writing out the plan, getting the accountability, and getting this thing done. I hope you have a great day. I love you. I believe in you. And I want to let you know that you, my friend, are unstoppable. Have a great day. Peace.